What I really like about this is we've already brought together a lot of relevant stakeholders, specifically on, let's say, the supply side. I think this is really a huge step and an important step. I also really like that we have a lot of awareness and understanding of what are the situations and the realities of the farmers in terms of climate, and also their understanding and perception of insurance, and that you've already that you're integrating smart farming technologies and advisory about these practices. I think it's a very complex approach that you're trying to do, but I think it's very, very interesting. Thank you.
Congratulations on the presentation as well as the idea. Just echoing Laura here, I think the value proposition that is being visualized through the website makes a lot of sense. First and foremost, just information around relevant agricultural practices, climate smart agricultural practices and the like. I think that already is a standalone value proposition. In addition to this, explaining ideas around insurance and role of agricultural insurance makes a lot of sense. Also appreciate the fact that the vision behind is that the degree of insurance, if it rises from 29% of farmers in there, that loss ratio is very likely to become more manageable and it becomes relevant for the industry. So there is definitely stake for the industry to consider as well, including the state, to see how this could become part of that effort to increase the insurance penetration. So,
thank you very much for this presentation. I'm really impressed about how clearly you have presented, and that we could already even see the website you have started to design. I think this is a website, but it looks as a sector project which has much more around this website. And I like particularly this holistic view you took from the farmer side, combining agricultural risk management and insurance, but also looking at the diverse stakeholders and the channels you said. Because I think this, to me, this looks like a sector working group where you will encounter like 100 more challenges and define 200 more solutions. Congratulations for this great start. Thank you.
Yeah, I had to ask Martina if you really came up with this website as part of the project, as this is really impressive. And I'm really a big fan of one-stop shops. And on the positive side, I really do appreciate that you reach out also to the academia, that you're working together with them, because the farmers are very difficult crowd. They know everything better, right? So you do have to work with evidence, you have to work with data, and academia will help you with that. And what I also very much like is about your online request, that you already built that in. Perhaps you can even go there, like, I don't know if this is existing in Armenia, like a insurance comparable, like price and service comparable website, where you can get the best deal, perhaps you can incorporate that as well. Because what I actually did not see, and perhaps I missed that, is you were talking about this 50% subsidies coming from the state, but you don't see much take-up of the insurance product. I did not see the answer why that is, and perhaps it is also something, and you can use this website for that kind of information also to make it more visible. Like farmers, who the state is participating, is shipping in, and this gives you already quite some, if you look at yourself and you see the deal, right, it's somehow more attractive, even though it's still the same price for you. But if you know that 50% has been taken off the price, it looks already more interesting for you. A few recommendations on the website. I think again, you You set it yourself, peer exchange to using Facebook. The use of Facebook is quite common to really include success stories so that people are talking about it and show that the combination of smart agricultural practices and insurance makes sense and what they can learn from it. You can build up communities where they can have exchanges, especially on the use of all these, for a farmer to suddenly have like a wind measuring station that is probably a new world so that they can exchange with each other. And also, as Armenia is quite developed already on smartphones, again, I would very much motivate you to develop some sort of an interactive app with push messages where you can learn, where you can see what is according to the GPS also, where do I stand right now, what is my risk, how can I invest, what do I have to protect my harvest. So there's so much possibilities with such a website, and to use it as a one-stop shop, I think has quite some potential. So congratulations.
I have recommendations in 3 areas. One is a website is a very good start, but as you were looking at other channels as well, look also at other communication modalities, like Matthias said, an app. Some people like to have a leaflet or an APC brochure, or it's also important to train people to explain it to others, so to spread the message with more communication channels. That would be my one recommendation. The other one, stay close to what farmers do and learn. That is a very good start, but continuous learning how the product, the usage, and the challenges are evolving is a very important feature. And then third, a detail, but I think it's important for the sustainability, who manages the website, who pays for it. I've been involved in the painful maintenance and funding of websites, who updates it. So this really also needs a concerted effort and a clear and sober view what the cost and effort will be. Thank you very much.
Thanks. And yeah, I think just to repeat a couple of points that Martina made, that where the house of the website is going to be, and also not just now, but from a long-term perspective, would be important. So where it sits, the funding around it, the resources needed to support it. Also, your target first adopters are likely to be more progressive-minded farmers, and I think mobile phone applications, as Matthias and Martina both mentioned, would be important and relevant, because we are largely going to be mobile-first society, so that is definitely a proposition to consider. Also, I think, and I know it's very early stages, and I'm sure we are thinking through it, it's already commendable that you have a website, but I think spreading the value proposition that you're looking to offer through the website, it could be split across 2-3 sections, and I'm sure it's a design expert's prerogative to do it, but making sure that one is focused more on more tactical information that the farmers could receive, which I'm sure would be valued from academics, local technology providers, and the like, and then moving on to awareness about insurance, and of course then everything else. I think all the ideas are there. I think it will benefit from understanding from a user experience perspective and designing the flow of the information. Last, I think it might also help to understand why the number is 29%. And I know you've already done that, but what are some of the key defining features of the insured group? Are they borrowers? Are they beyond a certain limit of their operations, like either they are doing it for exports, or their business exposure or the agriculture exposure is just too big that they can't do without insurance and the like? So if there are already ideas around bundling of possible solutions, linking with financial services and the like, I think something like that could be explored and also somehow leveraged, that information could be leveraged to both entities who could benefit from it, not only the farmers but also those entities who could be possible bundling opportunities or different channels to reach farmers.
Yeah. Also following up on or adding to what was already said and trying to repeat all of that. And I think having this, and it's really a great website that you've built, and having that as a basis and having a comprehensive and working website to go back to, or for the farmers to then go more, receive more information, I think it's really important. It's a very vital point. I was just trying to imagine or putting myself into the shoes of a farmer, and I'm not a farmer, so I will admit that. But I was just trying to imagine how they would perceive reading through all of this information as a first point of entrance into possibly taking up an insurance and or making themselves informed about it. And I think it should not be underestimated the value in these first stages of face-to-face interaction. So also for yourselves to make yourselves visible in the realities where the farmers are, so where their fields are, to also see so they can share, this is happening. It's really much more, I think this is really important in creating this basis of trust from their side, and also in reaching then what you said, and taking leverage of the knowledge that you already have with, that they have trust in these community leaders and in these authority persons, and to not lose that attraction, so to not put all, let's say, of the leverage in the website, or mostly, but also really in these first phases, making use of the face-to-face interaction. And in there, just another point, just to not lose sight of also the language of the website, that is not too technical, so that it's really comprehensive by the farmers, by the people that you want to reach. And I think also something worth considering what was said before, thinking about the gender-specific aspects, so also considering or assessing what kind of risks women perceive as risks, or how they perceive risks, and who do they listen to, or what is the chain of, let's say, informal authority within households.
In fact, I wanted to make this point, but thankfully Laura reminded me of it, that apart from engagement with the community leaders, I think one point that you make about people who are not very open-minded about trying out, let's say, website as a new source of information. I'm sure there are government programs and other policy interventions around capacity building of farmers' knowledge there. If you could somehow find ways in which this could become a part of those activities, I think that not only gets the endorsement of some kind that the information here is reliable and authentic, but it also opens up to this other group who might not be opening a website to get some information, so to say. So just something to consider.